Spring will be here soon. Thank you, Taylor. A suspect has now been sentenced in connection to a fire he set to a Wiggins church in 2024. 37-year-old Stefan Day Rowland has been sentenced to 30 years in prison after vandalizing and setting fire to the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints on Hall Street in Wiggins. Rowland's sentence comes after a jury found him guilty of 6 counts of federal arson and civil rights charges following a trial in September 2025. Rowland confessed to police that he broke into the church building and and he had graffitied hateful messages on the walls before starting a fire in the middle of a multi-purpose room. To kindle the flames, he used paintings, hymnals, and more. Evidence shown during the trial proved that Rowland did it because he disagreed with what he believed were the church's religious views. At sentencing, the church was awarded more than $175,000 in restitution.